Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel, long hair version of Eric Martin Real Estate. Hey everybody, hope you've been well, safe, and healthy. Today I want to touch on some things that buyers can do while they're out looking at homes if they don't have a realtor yet that's well established, that knows what they're looking for, and things that may help you pre-offer, so this way you kind of know whether or not you should really be putting an offer in that home, and if you do, kind of where you may be with your offer price. And while I say this, I know like right now trying to go out and view homes is very tough in some areas of the country. Other areas, they're still allowing showings. So kind of like use this as like a future base. So when we all kind of get back to a normalcy and you can go to open houses without a realtor, just see houses with your realtors, just kind of keep in mind of these few things that you may want to look for that could be telltale signs that you may want to pass on the house. And I'll start with the outside. And when you're viewing the outside of the home, you may want to look at the roof and the shingles. Obviously, if there's missing shingles, if you see that there might be like what they call bubbling, where the shingles kind of like bubble up a little bit, could be a sign that there's too much heat getting into the roof, may need some repairs down the road. Also, if there's a lot of trees on the property and they're kind of overhanging the roof, that roof may not be drying out properly because of the trees not allowing it to get any air or sun. So down the road, that could become a problem with your roof. Another thing you may want to check is the foundation. Walk around the outside of the house, look at the foundation. See if there's any stress cracks or anything in there. If there are, they could be just what they are, minor stress cracks, or it could be leading up to something a little bit more sophisticated and entailed to try to fix. Other things you may want to check are, the driveway. Is it something that I may have to repair or redo in the next few years or so? So pretty much on the outside. And with the addition of the outside, if the house is older, it probably has wood jambs around the windows and the door frames. You may want to check those and see if they're rotting out or if they are in very good condition. If they're rotting out, again, which means probably more than likely you're going to have to repair the windows down the way. Now, as you go into the inside of the home, we will start from like the basement up. If the home has a basement, more than likely, if it has the basement, all of the heating and air conditioning features will be in the basement. So if you do have like a oil heating burner or something like that, you may just want to check around the burner to make sure that there's no like oil leaks and things like that. Obviously, you're probably not really going to know unless you're a engineer of the furnaces per se, on whether or not it's a good working furnace or not. But you can kind of inspect it and just kind of visually see whether or not, like I said, there was any leaks, if there's a lot of rust on it, if the unit looks like it's going to need to be replaced sooner or later. Other things are smells. If it smells musty, could be a problem with water getting into the basement. And obviously, if you go down and you can obviously see wet marks after a rainstorm or something like that, those are another thing that you may want to keep in mind, that repairs may need to be done in the future to stop that. Could be a freak thing, but you're better off being safe than sorry. When you get into the actual house, the living area, those areas are going to be a little harder to probably see things because sheetrock may be covering it, carpet may be covering it, pictures may be covering it. And one thing to remember is these are all things. You are still going to have a home inspector come in and inspect the home and let you know whether or not it's a good home to buy, and they will let you know what issues arise. But they cannot physically remove any kind of drywall or rugs or carpeting or anything like that. They can only visually inspect what they see, just like yourself. But they will know what to look for. So once you get inside the home, things you may want to look for are under the kitchen cabinets and the bathroom vanities. Does it look like anything's been replaced? Does it look like there's been water leaking from the drains or from the faucet area? Down in the basement, you can look at the roof line, the ceiling, and see, if there was a bathroom above you or a sink above you or kitchen-wise, whether or not there was any leaks, or there is still a leak, because you can tell by looking at the wood sometimes. The other thing you may want to look for is, if you're on the main floor, is looking at the ceiling. When you're looking at the ceiling, you'll be able to tell whether or not there was a leak before, or still is a leak that has not been checked on, because the sheetrock will be wet and possibly even moldy, depending on the length it's been sitting there and if anybody's done anything to it. Now, when you get onto the second floor, you're going to be looking for the same type of thing, and that is going to tell you whether or not your roof is possibly leaking, because when your roof is leaking, that is going to fall down through the attic space and onto that sheetrock. Now, when you get into the attic area, one thing you can look for is daylight coming through the roof area. If you do see daylight, that means you are probably going to have to do a new roof, or at least a repair in that area. Now, you can go around, if you can maneuver in there, and check some of the insulation if you want to, and see if it's wet. But for the most part, if you don't see any daylight, you probably have a solid, tight roof that has not leaked. So if anything, it might just be some shingle repairs if there is any damage to that roof. Now, checking the rest of the house, you may want to, in the shower area, if there's shower doors, open them up, try them out, make sure that they are functioning properly. Carpeting, you may have to change carpeting, find out, ask. There might be hardwoods under there, you might be able to resurface. So with that, on the interior end, there really is not much you can really try to find, except for water stains and things of that nature. Unfortunately, you'll just have to have the inspector come through, and they will check the electrical circuits to make sure that they are wired properly, and he will check, or she will check, all of your faucets, your toilets, to make sure that they are all working properly. So with that said, just with those few little tips, if for some reason you are just starting out and just looking at new homes, those are some things that you can look at to kind of say to yourself, maybe we don't want to buy this house, or we haven't seen anything, and maybe we will get off and buy this house. So with that said, I hope you guys have a great experience trying to find a new home. If you're in the Morris County, Roxbury area, and you need any help, reach out to me. My name is Eric Martin from Keller Williams. My number is 973-271-4505, or my email is ericmartin1@kw.com. Stay safe and stay healthy. Look to see you next week. Thanks.